So it is night time and I'm just getting ready for bed. I'm knackered. It's been a long day. I'm absolutely knackered. It's almost midnight. Shut at like 11:30. You see my face is so much better. Well, my skin is. It's doing much better. I did a facial, which was really great, and I think that helped. And since then, I got a new cream, which I feel like, and I was more diligent with my skincare, and that has stopped the peeling of my skin. Thank you, Jesus. Do you think my belly? Let me show you my belly. Massive. My tummy is absolutely massive. My sister was saying today, and so was my friend actually, the other day, she was saying that, they're both saying that it's like my stomach has dropped, which normally happens when it's like, when you're basically getting ready for birth. And I'm still like just under 10 weeks away. So we're not quite ready yet. We're almost ready. And I'm going to try and do more like weekly updates leading up to. I'm going to try my best. But yeah, I'm going to try. I'll try. What was I going to say? I've got like a brain fart. I was going to say that, what is it? What was I going to say? Shiggy. Oh, this is crazy. Anyway, let me go make my cup of tea. I'm really I'm not hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna make some ginger and lemon. Let me go to the living room and see if the lighting is better. Jeremy's in bed, so I need to lower my voice. I'm gonna make some lemon and ginger tea. Oh, my juice. I left my juice. My sister came around to help because I need help. Where's my lemon and ginger? Thank God for my family. They've been awesome. I ain't worried about it. Guys, I'm so excited. I've got this new microphone on my camera, on my DSLR. I've not used this DSLR in ages because I just use my phone basically because it's just easier. It's just been easier because whenever I use this mic, I have to get use the other mic, the clip mics and stuff, and that's just, it's long. It's just long. It can be long, and also sometimes it's like the quality, because you need like really good lighting. All the like people that use like DSLRs and stuff, like you need to make sure your lighting is 110%. This is my what's it called? My lemon and ginger like blend that I make. I just blend it all together, and I did like a little clip one time on TikTok. Try blend it all together. I posted it on stories, on shorts on YouTube before. I just blend it all together, and I put some honey. Let me show you. It looks like this. It's like a block because it's just been in the fridge. I put it in the freezer, and then I put it in the fridge because I've been using it. I just put that with a spoonful of honey. Just waiting for my tea to fully boil. Do you guys like my kettle? You might have seen it before. I've shown it many times. A little Japanese inspired kettle. Love it. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm gonna put some honey and I'll drink that. I think I want some cake. I've got cake from the baby shower. Let me see if it's still good. Oh my gosh, it's 10 minutes to midnight. Am I still up, please? And the thing now is that there's times when I just feel like I'm so tired I could just sleep wherever I am, which is what happened like earlier this evening. I fell asleep around like 8. Like I think it's around 7:30. I just slept. I just was so tired and my body just felt so weak. And I don't know how long I slept for. I was dreaming. I was dreaming and I woke up and prayed family and put her to bed. So, and now I'm up at almost before midnight. It's a bit like bread now. Yeah, it's a bit dry. The cake was so good. My friend made it. It's alright. I think I need to heat it up or something. But it's still, there's nothing wrong with it. And my mother's charged. We do not waste food. I think it's fine. I wake up at like 4:30 to pray. So I don't know why I find myself up at almost midnight. It's not the vibe. It's not the vibe at all. Let me tell you, people have been congratulating me. I posted a video, like, I posted this video and it was like basically, I might just post it here. I was just like, oh, summer saying goodbye or whatever. That was the caption. And I've had people like congratulating me because it just shows the back of me. And some people were like, even there was one guy that was like, oh, I can see it or something. And some people were like, oh, congratulations, congratulations. I'm just like, thank you, but tell her on your show. I think it's, do you know what? It's such a catch-22, right? Because honestly, I do appreciate people, congratulating me based on the assumption of what they see. And they're not wrong. I am pregnant and this video is coming out later, right? So that as I'm speaking, this is something that's happened like a couple of days ago. And so it's, even when people like, some people like safe delivery or whatever, based on because of my face, and I guess a lot of the videos I'm posting have been like chest up. But is it all right to just, let's all act like, let's just not congratulate someone that hasn't announced anything yet. I am pregnant and I received those congratulations, but I'm deleting those comments as well because it's that I haven't said anything to you, so you're basing it on assumption, and I'm not ready to share it at this point in time. I've been enjoying this pregnancy, being and not having to deal with social media about it. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but I know that most people share their pregnancies. I say most people, I know a lot of people share their pregnancies, and because obviously if you're online, it's really hard to hide, right? And especially if your job is to post videos about your lifestyle or your life, or just about yourself. If you're showing yourself, people are going to tell that there's a difference, and that's fair enough. They're not blind, and I'm not going to gaslight people into saying that. I'm not going to lie, I am, but I'm not going to address it either because I'm not ready to, and I just don't want to. This pregnancy for me has been. It's been like especially in the beginning, there was a roller coaster of emotions, and like when I was spotting, when I'd gone to the doctor, when I'd gone to the hospital, there was one of my appointments, and I'd gone to the early care unit, and they had basically said that, you know, I think the doctor there had said that she wasn't liking what she was seeing, that she was worried about the growth of the baby at that point. I was probably about like, I don't know, maybe like 8 weeks or something. It was very early, and I remember when I left the hospital. This is after like the spotting as well, and you know, I'd gone to the urgent care at least like twice to keep calling like 111 about it, calling my doctor, just having to go to the early pregnancy unit about the spotting. And especially in the beginning, I felt like the doctors, because it was still very early, I guess, you know, from their point of view, maybe it's still early, there's not much they can do. But for me, I felt like I wasn't, like, they didn't see it as urgent like I felt it was. But you know, things have since changed, and I really thank God for the care that I've been receiving. But yeah, so I remember that particular day when the doctor had said that to me. I think it was a nurse. She said that to me, and she's like, she wants me to come back and then they will check. I left the hospital and I was just like, I was like over it. I was over feeling worried and scared about whether this pregnancy would basically stay. And I was just over it, and I was just like, I went to McDonald's after and I got a fat cup of Coke and some food, but I didn't even eat the food, I just drank the Coke like they do on TV. And I just felt like, you know, I just felt like, sod it, like I decided at that point I'm not going to worry about this pregnancy anymore. And I don't know if I've shared it on in another video before this. I'm going to share it again in case I haven't. For me, it was a testimony of Pastor Oyedepo's wife that I was holding on to, you know, and she had shared a testimony where basically Pastor Oyedepo was away on ministry trip. She was pregnant at home. I think it was their first child. And she was bleeding heavily. She bled heavily. And as someone that has had a miscarriage where like there was heavy bleeding, you know, I can imagine what she must have felt. And she had called her husband, and he was like, "Is that all?" He was like, "No, don't worry. And he didn't tell her. No, she didn't say anything. She didn't tell her husband. Sorry, she didn't tell her husband. She was worried, and she just felt like, okay, she just thought, that's it then. So when her husband got back, she told him what had happened, and he was like, "Is that it? Please go and bring my food." I think this even caused some sort of uproar on Twitter, because again, if you read things without the spirit, you're gonna just see just the flesh of it, and you're gonna see that, oh, how, you know, unkind of him or whatever. Well, in truth, is that he was not allowing any kind of negative thought into what God had promised. And that was what I had learned, was that if I made room for any negative thought, if I made room for the devil to give me like, what if, you know, paranoia or whatever, then I am discounting what could potentially be, or what God is already doing rather. And I had to hold on to my faith and be like, you know what, in spite of what I see, in spite of the spotting that I was seeing, in spite of what the midwife had said at that point about the growth of the baby, I don't care. I'm gonna trust God either way. I don't care if, and yeah, to sum up the testimony, she gave birth to their son. she didn't lose the baby. And that was another thing that one of the first time I went to urgent care, I'd called my mum. I was so scared, and she'd taken me to urgent care, and God will have it, he gave me a midwife that shared her story with me. It was a similar story. She was bleeding heavily, and she was telling me that her son just graduated from Cambridge recently. You know, I feel like God put these stories he gave me these stories at the right times, so that would allow me to hold on and trust him and not be fearful during this pregnancy. And I'm really grateful, honestly. I don't want to get emotional. I feel like I've cried in every video. But yeah, let me tell you, yeah, God is good. And when we desire something and he brings it to pass, he does it in a way that only he can, you know. And also after we had received that report, like when the midwife said, oh, she wasn't too sure, you know, my husband and one of our family friends who's also a pastor, has been such a blessing to us during this time. He would just pray. We just prayed, and by the time I went back, I think I went back in 2 days, and everything was fine. Baby was growing well, and there was no issue. And here I am at week 30, guys. Let me tell you, I want these videos, you know, it's not just a pregnancy diary for vibes, right? I want this video for anybody out there who's trusting God for the fruit of the womb, or you've been through loss, child loss in any way, and you want another child, even if it's your 10th child, so long as it's a desire of your heart. I want you guys to, if you see this video, to hold on to God. To hold on to God. I want to hold on to him hard, and that's why I'm not sharing this. For me anyway, because my husband he's not on it anyway, but I need to be, and it's not because of fear. I thought, is it because of fear? A part of me was like, oh, let me just start sharing it. But I want to bask in God's goodness in this pregnancy, and I'm not ready to share it right at this point. I'll share it after, because you can, it's still, let's explain it. I'll watch these videos back and be like, wow, see what the Lord has done. I just want to be able to have peace of mind. You know, people can be very critical of certain things. I don't want to answer questions about this and that. I just want to be pregnant and then have my baby, and then if I want it, and then I can share my process or my journey after, just because that's what I want to do, you know. And kudos to those ladies that do it during. It's not easy, guys. I feel like you guys should really appreciate them. I'm sure you might like watching it and everything, but really appreciate them. It takes a lot to be sharing it as it's happening, because it's such a roller coaster. I swear, it's a roller coaster. But yeah, you know, God is so faithful. If I show you, I'm gonna that Jeremy, yeah, the way she prays for her little sister, I can't deal. It makes me just so happy that God did this, you know. And her faith, the way her faith has risen, is so amazing to see. Gosh, children are, and you know what as well, it's Fermi's faith, because once we told her there was no doubt for her. Obviously, like she wasn't aware of the other of the miscarriages because she was still so young, and I just wouldn't even want to share that with her. But the fact of like is that once she knew, it was like, even when I was feeling shaky, it was her faith that helped me, that really helped me. I think that's the beauty of sharing it with your children. They will blab. Be sure that they will blab to the... Fermi tried, but she still slipped here and there. She had to still tell a couple of people because she was just so excited. But even with that, it was that her faith strengthened me. It sharpened me. It sharpened me, God. God is good. It sharpened me. I need more honey in this tin. Look at me. It's after midnight. Anyway, I'm gonna read to baby girl in here. Like, I used to read to Fermi when she was in the utero as well, and I see the benefits of that. I've not really been reading with this baby. I need to get a move on. I've been talking to her, and I see even when we're having conversations, she's like so responsive. When I was talking to her this afternoon, and guys, it was just the cutest thing. I'm gonna see if I can catch it. Every time she moves, I just feel like I always miss it and I never get to capture it. I'm gonna see if I can capture it and show you guys. But yeah, like when I'm speaking to her, it's amazing to see her response, and as if she's moving through my tummy. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God, you're so good. You're so good. I hope the sound is good. Otherwise, I'm going to send this mic back. Are you joking? And by the way, this hair that I did is cute, but it's so bloody tight. Look at that. It's so bloody tight. I regret it. I regret doing this hair. Because as the hairdresser was making it, she was plaiting. I couldn't feel, it didn't feel too tight. Like, it was afterwards. And I realised that my scalp was rising. Nice, she's son. Why would it be rising? Anyway, my prayer is, I've had to pray about this hair. That's how painful it's been. Like, my sister even helped me to try to loosen it. It helped, it relieved me for the moment, but mate, it's been pinning me. I got this hair done on Friday. Today is Monday. No, Friday. Is it Friday? Yeah, Friday. Along shining me. This hair needs to calm down because it feels like fire. And I've been praying that my hair don't fall out, which it won't by the grace of God. But even with that, like I'm very cautious of like strain on my scalp and on my hair. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realise. I think I should have been a lot more firm with the hairdresser about the strain. Man, it's annoying. Anyway, it's enough yapping. It's enough yapping, your tea. I love using my DSLR actually. I love using it. Because the thing is, the quality is probably like the same as my iPhone, but I just like the vibe. The vibe is different, and it's vibing, and the light in here is better than my room. The light in the room is shockingly bad. Anyway, I'm gonna go and read a book. I'm gonna read a book to baby girl here, and then I'll read a book for myself. It's after midnight. Hopefully I will sleep before 1. And I set my alarm for 4:30. Or actually, I actually set it for like 3:50. So I like to pray. I've been doing devotion, like, what is it, devotion? What, quiet time and prayer at 4 a.m. It was the lady on TikTok. I'll try and find her handle. She's such a lovely woman. She shared this 4 a.m. challenge. The thing is, I've been praying at 4 a.m. for years. Like, I am part of like PWC, as you guys know, Praying Women's Circle, and we have a prayer, like a corporate prayer that we do every day, Monday to Friday at 4:30. I used to wake up at 4, so, you know, just to get, like, because like praise and worship would be at 4:15, and I used to play it I used to be one of the people to play it then. So I kind of got used to it. But what I realised is that it's corporate, because it's corporate prayer, excuse me, I wasn't really spending enough time with doing, like, having prayer, personal prayer. Sorry, the camera stopped. Yeah, because it's corporate prayer, I wasn't spending enough time, like, one-on-one with God myself. And it was like almost impossible during the day. So, and I had to realise that it's early morning that I can do that. Only early morning, and that time is perfect. It's just I need to get into bed earlier so that I don't feel it as much as I usually do. But yeah. So yeah. So now what I do is I'm up, I try to wake up by 4, pray, and then join the corporate prayer at 4:30. And yeah, and it's just, guys, it's been amazing. So I'll pray, worship, I'll pray and read the Bible, and it's nice, guys. It's so nice. And I've been doing it now for sometimes I wake up at 5, but I shall still wake up. Before, like, if I did that, if I wake up at 5, I'll be beating myself up, and then I won't end up praying like I need to. I don't do that anymore. Like, when I wake up, as long as I wake up before my day to pray and spend time with God, it's so nice, and I'm so grateful for it. And pardon me. One second. Anyway, I feel like I'm blabbing. Sorry. I don't know if you heard. Framing got a little bit disturbing. Framing was just. Framing's had a long day. Monday's her long day, so when she's had a long day like that, she can sometimes like get woken up in the middle of the night. Anyway, corporate prayer, personal prayer, chef's kiss. It's really helped. Anxiety, what? I don't know it. I will never know it in the name of Jesus. I won't know it anymore. It will never know me. But yeah, it has helped, especially in this season of my life. And I just pray that God will help me to stay consistent. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it, love it. If you just check out the 4 a.m. challenge on TikTok. Yeah, the originator of that. It's such a blessing. But yeah, it was a good reminder. That's what kind of brought me back on track, and it was like, yeah, I need to be just spending time with my God, and I actually look forward to it, and I love it, and I'm just grateful to have it. I is grateful, y'all. The cake is good. MAC cakes. Okay, it's not hard. You know, I was saying it was hard before. I just needed to be out of the fridge for a little bit. It tastes great. It tastes good. Anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night, y'all.